Here's a business decision we can make that can change everything. Let me tell you what happened. It was 39 years ago. I was selling car telephones, the type that are installed in cars. They cost about £1,500 a piece, which you think how far ago it was. It was a lot of money. And it was going well. Then I met a guy who taught me all about leasing. And so I started to sell the phones on a leasing package instead, which made it so much easier and much more profitable because we were making a commission on the lease as well. And I thought to myself one day, why don't I set up a leasing company? And I tested it and it worked. And in fact, it was on the 2nd of February 1984 when I set it up. And about 3 months later, when it was still in its early days and we were only turning over £500 a month in fees, that's all our turnover was, £500 a month, £6,000 a year, hopefully rising, I'd realised that the car phone business was going like this and the leasing business was going to go like this. I was really confident it was going to take off. We were doing lots of bits and pieces on lease, but we were trying hard. We were getting out in the marketplace. And I was approached by somebody who wanted us to get some leasing facilities for a £60,000 lathe, an industrial lathe. We'd have made £6,000 on it because the commission was 10%. It was difficult to place. The accounts of the guy that wanted it were okay, but didn't really support the fact that he could pay for it. Yes, there was guarantees and the kit was really good, but I was struggling to get it placed. Then I had lunch with a new lessor, and I mentioned this deal to him, and he looked at it, he said, yeah, I like it. He said, the reason I like it is because of the equipment. He said, if it ever went wrong, we can get that equipment back and we can definitely sell it and come out clean. He said, I think, Peter, I think I'll take it. But I'll tell you what, I'll take it back to the office this afternoon. In the morning, I'll go through it. I'll go through the accounts a bit more detail. I'll check into a couple of bits and pieces, and I'll give you a decision tomorrow morning. But I think I might well take it. This is the conversation that's in my office after we come back from lunch. One of my colleagues comes into the room and says, the guy, the lessee that wants the lathe is on the phone. Could I speak to him? And I said to David, this was the lessor, would you mind if I took the call? No, great. So the guy comes on the phone, the lessee, and he is, talk about aggressive, like so aggressive. And he was like, oh, really good. And I said, hang on a minute. I said, I'm with a lessor at the moment. I think the chances are good that he's going to take it. We've looked at it. He likes it, likes the equipment. He's going to tell me in the morning, but it's looking like it's going to be a yes. He said this to me. He said, I don't care about that. He said, I need to know now. I mean, this aggressive. And I went, and I don't know why I made this decision, by default, by mistake, by annoyance maybe. I went, okay, you can know now. No, we can't place it for you. Thanks for giving us a chance. I hope you get it placed somewhere else, but no, it's not for us. Now, of course, straight away, he was all apologetic, but I said, no. Thanks very much indeed. I hope you get it done. Goodbye. I put the phone down. And I had another similar thing a few days later when a client that we were dealing with, who we were placing point of sale equipment for, they weren't very expensive, £300-400 a time. And one was taking a time to get placed because we were at the hands of the lessors, whether they took it or not. We weren't running our own book. You know, we were brokering the deal. And we were doing what we could to get it done quickly. And he swore at one of my colleagues. And she was upset about this, obviously, and she was in tears and all the rest. And I phoned the guy up and said, look, we can't do business. And again, he was all up. I said, no, that's it. Wish you well. Goodbye. And of course, this is just so important, isn't it? Is how we decide that we are going to deal with life, with people, with suppliers, with everybody. I remember years later seeing that wonderful quote by David Ogilvy, only first-class business and that in a first-class way. And so I don't know why I made that decision. I mean, it panned out. 5 years later, we sold the business for £4.2 million. I was delighted with the way we got to 65 people. We were doing really well. It was a great business to be involved in. And so much of it came from that gut decision about, no, this is the way to deal. I'm sure you can take this idea away, and if it's applicable, apply it in your business. I certainly hope it is. There's plenty more of these videos around of me explaining my ideas on product creation, on fees, on all sorts of different things. So please have a watch of those if that would be good for you. In the meantime, I wish you every success in all your adventures in life. From me, Peter Thomson, until the next time. Goodbye for now.